الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم بارك لنا في رجب وشعبان وبلغنا رمضان. آمين يا رب العالمين. Oh Allah, bless us in Rajab and in Sha'ban, and let us reach Ramadan. Ameen ya Rabbi. There are momentous times in the history of all peoples. Momentous days, momentous weeks, momentous months. The Muslims are no exception. Islamic history overflows with events and occurrences worthy of the mention and indeed worthy of remembrance. Here we look at one such month, and this is the month of Rajab. It is indeed a month which carries momentous history. SubhanAllah. In particular, Rajab saw many events in Islamic history which belong to in the category of those which changed the course of history. And the pages of history were rewritten. The month of Rajab, the 27th, is very famous for the incident of the night journey and ascensions of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to the heavens, the Al-Asra wal-Mi'raj. Also another event, Sayyidina Bilal radiallahu anhu brought a group of 450 men from the tribe of Banu Muzina in the presence of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and they all embraced Islam. SubhanAllah. And this all the happenings in the month of Rajab. The second oath of Aqaba took place in Rajab, when the first Islamic state was established by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The battle of Tabuk took place in the 9th year of Hijrah, also in Rajab, against the Romans. This was the last battle which Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam participated in. On the 28th of Rajab, Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu anhu started his journey to Kufa from Medina to stop Yazid from forcefully taking over the Khilafah. In 146 after Hijrah, also in the month of Rajab, Sayyidina Abu Hanifa radiallahu anhu was sent to prison by Mansur, the Khalif, the leader at the time, after the Imam's refusal to state that Mansur was the rightful Khalifa, subhanAllah, as well as refusing the position of presidency of the Supreme Court, the Qadi, the judge. He refused. While he was in prison, Imam Abu Hanifa was thrashed, and Mansur eventually repented and sent the Imam money, only to be refused again. And today, some of the government officials see money. I can resist everything except temptation. Astaghfirullah. Isn't that what's happening today? In our societies, Allah protect us, our children, all, Ya Allah. By now, Imam Abu Hanifa has become a well-known person, and thousands flocked to meet him and seek his opinion wherever he was. And his imprisonment, far from reducing his popularity, and Mansur realized that he would have to treat the Imam very carefully, and thus allowed him to teach while he was in prison. SubhanAllah. Mansur finally decided to do away with the great Imam, and he had him poisoned. And while he was making sujood, Imam Abu Hanifa could feel the poison going through his body, and he died on the 15th of Rajab. Imam Shafi'i died on the 14th of Rajab. Imam Muslim, 24th of Rajab. Imam Nawawi, 14th of Rajab. So many great things happened in Rajab. On 28th of Rajab, this is 3rd of March 1924 in other words. But the Ottoman Khilafah government was destroyed by the traitor Kemal Atatürk. Read the history. On the 6th of Rajab, Khwaja Mu'inuddin Hassan Chishti Ajmeri passed away. On the 8th of Rajab, our Sheikh Maulana Sheikh Muhammad Nazim Adil al-Haqqani al-Naqshbandi passed away not so long, a few years ago. In Jerusalem was liberated by Salahuddin Ayyubi in the month of Rajab. Allah sent you Salahuddin Ayyubi, say Allah, to free Palestine. The events of Sha'ban was also Laylatul Bara'ah, night of forgiveness, 15th of Sha'ban. The Qibla reverted back to the Baytullah in Makkah, from Jerusalem to Makkah. This took place 2 years after the Hijrah. The gravity of the matter is, it is enough that this month reminds us of Masjidul Aqsa, Jerusalem, and the great event in the Prophet ﷺ's life, the journey to the heavens, where he met so many prophets. And as you know, Nabi Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, who stayed after the Prophet alayhi salam, went up, met in other words, on his journey to Isra, and he stayed until the number was reduced from 50 to 5. You know, the poet says so nicely, "Hukm tha ke ada ho namaz-e pachas aapka aana jana salamat rahe Mustafa ka diwana salamat rahe." Subhanallah. Yeah, the poet says, when the order came that the salamat before 50 was done, and Apaka Anajana, Ap means our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Apaka Anajana. He went up and down, as you know. Speaking to Nabi Musa, Musa said, alayhi salam, no, gaat weer terug, het gaat niet gebeuren until 5. And Ya Allah, Allah protect us, we can't even do 5. Ya Allah. Right? And remember, Sayyidina Umar also, this all happened in the month of Rajab. Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab, the first person to open Jerusalem, and Salahuddin Ayyubi who freed it. Subhanallah. So we should say, "Oh Aqsa, here we come." Even if thousands of Muslims and families were kicked out of their homes, Jerusalem was our first Qibla, and will remain the place of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's Mi'raj, and will return to us no matter how long it takes. بالروح بالدم نفديك يا أقصى بالروح بالدم نفديك يا أقصى بالروح بالدم نفديك يا أقصى. By ourselves, by our blood, we'll free you, O Aqsa. ولا تهنوا ولا تحزنوا وأنتم الأعلون إن كنتم مؤمنين. So do not weaken, says Allah in the Quran, and do not be sad. You will be superior if you are true believers. Allah make us true believers. وَلَقَدْ كَتَبْنَا فِي الزَّبُورِ مِنْ بَعْدِ الذِّكْرِ أَنَّ الْأَرْضَ يَرِثُهَا عِبَادِيَ الصَّالِحُونَ. And indeed, says Allah, we laid it down in the book of Zabur after having reminded mankind that my righteous servants shall inherit the earth. Ameen. Abu Hurairah Radiallahu anhu relates that Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said, a group of my ummah will never cease to fight at the gates of Damascus and at the gates of Al-Quds, Jerusalem, and its surroundings. The betrayal or desertion of whoever deserts them will not harm them in the least. They will remain victorious, standing for the truth until the final hour rises. Ya Rabbi, make us of those, Ya Allah. So our commitment for the month of Rajab should use the holy month of Rajab to increase in their ibadah. The salah, the fasting, the dhikr, the contemplation, and start making plans and preparations for Ramadan. Ya Rabbi. And like we said, Allahumma barik lana fi Rajab wa Shabaan wa ballighna Ramadan. Oh Allah, bless us in the month of Rajab and Shabaan and let us reach Ramadan. Ameen. وَسَارِعُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. Be quick in the race for forgiveness from your Lord. وَجَنَّةٍ عَرْضُهَا السَّمَاوَاتُ وَالْأَرْضُ أُعِدَّتْ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. And for a garden whose width is that of the whole of the heavens and of the earth, prepared for the righteous. Allah grant us. We are now into the holy month of Rajab. It is one of the 4 sacred months in the Islamic year. We are encouraged to use Rajab and Shabaan in preparation for the holy month of Ramadan. It is related from the hadith of Abu Bakr that Nabi alayhi salam said, he gave a speech during the farewell pilgrimage, and in it he said, إِنَّ الزَّمَانَ قَدْ إِسْتَدَارَ كَهَيْئَتِهِ يَوْمَ خَلْقُ اللَّهِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Time has come back to its original state, which it had when Allah created the heavens and the earth. السنة 12 شهرا منها 4 حرم. The year is 12 months, and 4 of which are sacred. ثلاث متواليات ذو القعدة وذو الحجة والمحرم ورجب مضر. 3 of them are in succession, ذو القعدة, ذو الحجة and Muharram, and the 4th being Rajab Mudar. And it says we stand between Jama'at al-Thani and Sha'ban. And Allah mentions in the Quran, إِنَّ عِدَّةَ الشُّهُورِ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ 12 شهرا. Where the number of months with Allah is 12. في كتاب الله يوم خلق السماوات والأرض منها 4 حرم. So it was ordained by Allah on the day when He created the heavens and the earth. Of them are 4 which are sacred. ذلك الدين القيم. That is the right religion. فلا تظلمون فيهن أنفسكم. So do not wrong yourselves therein. Allah protect us. But why is Rajab included as part of these sacred months? Some scholars speculate that the above 4 months may have been sanctified at the time of the establishment of the Hajj by the Prophets Ibrahim and Ismail alayhi salam, to allow for a peaceful passage for pilgrims to the Kaaba. According to this view, by recognizing these 4 months as sacred, the pre-Islamic Arabs were thus merely following an ancient Abrahamic tradition. This argument clearly makes sense with respect to the 3 consecutive months of Dhul Qa'dah, Dhul Hajj and Muharram, since they coincide with the Hajj season. The line of reasoning, however, does not hold for the 7th lunar month, the month of Rajab, which Nabi alayhi salam himself described as standing alone outside of the month of Hajj and being a distinctive custom and tradition of the tribe of Mudar. The customs and tradition of the tribe of Mudar is provided in an authentic prophetic tradition, hadith, recorded in the hadith compiled by Imam Bukhari on the authority of the companion of Abu Raja al-Utaradi radiallahu anh, who was a member of the tribe of Mudar and who describes his tribe's cultural traditions and customs before embracing Islam. And it's as follows, and he says, we used to worship stones, and when we discovered a more attractive stone, we would abandon the first one and worship the new one. If we could not find a stone, we would collect some soil from the earth, and after milking our sheep over it, we would perform tawaf around it. Subhanallah. And when the month of Rajab arrived, we stopped all military actions. We used to call the month of Rajab the iron remover. For we used to remove and throw away the iron parts of every spear and arrow in the month of Rajab. In other words, the tribe of Mudar, Rajab was a sacred month during which all warfare was not only suspended, but it also involved the ritual discarding of their weapons. So we can interpret this to mean that Rajab was to the tribe of Mudar a sacred month of ritual cleansing in which they sought respite from their permanent state of war which they were in. During the Jahiliyyah, the Arabs used to slaughter a sacrifice during Rajab, and as an act of worship towards their idols. And when Islam came, teaching that sacrifices were only for Allah. And this deed of the Jahiliyyah was abolished. The Fuqaha differed as to the ruling on the offering sacrifices during the month of Rajab. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu says, the Nabi alayhi salam says, La fara'a wa la atira. He says, Fara'a and atira. Fara' was the first offspring of a camel or a sheep, which the pagans used to offer as a sacrifice to their idols. And atira was a sheep which used to be slaughtered during the month of Rajab. The Shafi'i school of thought says that atira has not been abrogated and they regard it as mustahab. This was also the view of Ibn Sirin. It was narrated that Nubaysh Shah said, a man called up while he was in Mina and said, Ya Rasulullah, we used to sacrifice the atira during the Jahiliyyah in Rajab. What do you command us to do? He said, sacrifice during whatever month it is and do good for the sake of Allah and feed the poor. And they said, Ya Rasulullah, we used to sacrifice the fara' during the Jahiliyyah. What do you command us to do? He said, for every flock of grazing animals, feed the firstborn as you feed the rest of your flock until it reaches an age where it could be used to carry loads. Then sacrifice it and give its meat in charity. Now, the ulama obviously, they say the hadith is weak. It is in Bukhari, but it's weak. But please do it for the poor benefit from that. You know what Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal says? I prefer weak hadith over the opinions of people. Subhanallah. Right? So can Allah do it? Who's benefiting? The poor people are benefiting. Because you come in the name of Allah, not of any idols. You know, there was a beautiful incident in the time of Nabi Musa alayhi salam. He was passing through a barren hill when he came across a cave and found a pious man. He was engaged in prayers. And Nabi Musa came and greeted him. The man asked, who are you? And the Prophet Musa said, I am Musa. The man asked, are you Prophet Musa? He said, yes. He said, please. The man then had a favor which he wanted to ask Nabi Musa alayhi salam. He said, yeah, oh Musa, for the past 100 years I am sitting here praying to Allah and I have done nothing else. Just ask him what will he give me for my efforts. Nabi Musa conveyed the message to Allah and Allah told him, oh Musa, tell him we shall inform him about his reward tomorrow. The pious man agreed and said, tomorrow is not far, I shall wait. Now the pious man had the habit of going every morning to a nearby canal to bath and fetch water. And the following morning, as he was going to the canal, this is Allah's taqdeer. He lost his way and he reached somewhere else. And since it was extremely hot, he became very thirsty and tired. With water nowhere to be seen, he realized that he would die of thirst. Suddenly he sees a man coming towards him. He called the man towards him and asked him, please, some water please. You know. The man said, there is no water in this wilderness. Whatever little water there is for me. The pious man began to cry and he pleaded for help. Eventually the stranger agreed to give him the water, the tumbler of water, with a condition. He said, you must give me something in return. The man said, he's got nothing except 100 years of making ibadah, worshipping. The man then said, if you agree to transfer the reward of your 100 years of worship, I will give you my tumbler of water. Subhanallah. When you're in desperate stages, right? You do desperate things, maybe. The pious man thought, if I'm going to be still alive, I can be praying again for a further period of time. So he accepted the offer. Yeah, tumbler of water for 100 years of ibadat, subhanallah. That evening, Nabi Musa alayhi salam went to him, and the pious man said to him, I have sold my 100 years of ibadat, my prayers, for a tumbler of water. Prophet Musa said, alayhi salam, I am fully aware of this. Allah has asked me to convey this to you. If the value of 100 years is one tumbler of water, then you must settle the value of the water you have been drinking for all the years. SubhanAllah. When the pious man heard that, he cried out loudly and he said, Oh Musa, tell Allah to forgive my sins. Allah is beneficent and Allah is merciful. Right? Immediately, revelation came to Musa alayhi salam. He said, Oh Musa, tell this man that his remorsefulness has pleased us more than his 100 years of prayers. And we have given him the rewards for 1,000 years of prayers. SubhanAllah. Right? So we learn, never ever despair of Allah's mercy. Qul ya ibadiyalladhina asrafu ala anfusihim la taqnatu min rahmatillah. O my servants who have transgressed against their own souls, do not despair of the mercy of Allah. Inna Allah yaghfiru dhunub jami'a innahu huwal ghafurur rahim. Indeed, Allah forgives all sins. Truly, He is most forgiving, most merciful. We also learn that we should not be boasting about our good actions. Neither should we consider others as inferior to us in religion and faith. Rather, we should continue to seek astaghfar, lest our good deeds perish on account of our self-conceit. Oh Allah, protect us, Ya Allah. You know, I love reciting this piece of poetry, especially in the month of Rajab. Well, put it this way, I love reciting poetry, period. And the poet says, and as you know, at the darbar of Khwaja Mu'inuddin Chishti, wow, those who have not been there, if you want to experience, I mean, a huge pot as big as this building, 5,800 kilos of food is dispensed just about every day there. Right? That's why it's called Gharibun Nawaz. Right? Oh my gosh. And the poet says, Rajab to Hajj ka mahina lagta hai. Rajab to Hajj ka mahina lagta hai. Khwaja ka darbar Madina lagta hai. यूं तो देखे लाख नजारे आँखों ने, शहरों में अजमेर नगीना लगता है। रज्जब तो हज का महीना लगता है, ख्वाजा का दरबार मदीना लगता है। I'll just recite, translate one or two of the verses. He says, Rajab feels like the month of Hajj, and the Darbar, the Maqam of Khwaja Mu'inuddin Chishti feels like Madinatul Munawwarah. Eyes have seen many lively sceneries, but Ajmer is the zenith, is the beauty of all the cities. Subhanallah. And Allah grant us that we also reach there, inshallah. Allahumma barik lana fi Rajab wa Shabaan wa ballighna Ramadan. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. And we should always say, Oh Aqsa, here we come. Even if thousands of Muslims and families were kicked out from their homes, they never forget Jerusalem was our first Qibla and will remain the place of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's Miraj, and will return to us no matter how long it takes. Birruh, biddan, nafdika ya Aqsa. By our souls, by our blood, we'll free you, O Aqsa, Ya Arhamar Rahim. Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Thank you. You know, Al-Hajj Nur Muhammad Bawa, the father, you know, Mehboob Bawa, TV, radio, and Najma, the way. Their father, they all went to India. He's 85 years old. And on their way back in Doha, in Qatar, they're coming back. He has passed away. He didn't realize he had cancer, and he had one of those aggressive cancers which suddenly just hit, and he passed away there. Ya Allah. We will be having Salatul Janaza al-Ghaib at their house at 3 o'clock, inshallah. Nearby us. One very more important thing to remember, please don't give money to youngsters outside. I've made this statement some time ago already. And it's becoming a major problem because outside we have drug houses, and you might or might not be aware. And besides these guys taking that money and going to the drug houses, you're finding the bigger lighties or bigger guys, they actually rob them. And then they go to the drug houses or whatever they want to do. So I beg you, please don't feel bad that you just see a youngster there. Don't give them money, please, for Allah's sake. The neighborhood patrol, and Sheikh Salahuddin was also mentioning it to me. Neighborhood patrol also got hold of me, and they are insistent, because what has also happened, these youngsters run up to your window, and it happened last week. Was it yours?
My son's.
It's your son's. They stole his son's
cell phone.
3 cell phones.
No, they tried to steal the cell phone.
Yeah.
My son got that, chased him, got him.
Yeah.
Fought him off. One guy came, understand my nephew was
Allah.
My other son had thrown his firearm, shoot into the ground,
Allah.
and disperse.
Alhamdulillah, Allah protected them, Ya Allah. So there you can see firsthand, his sons were attacked, and they come to your window, and please don't put anything appetizing there in your car that looks like a bag or anything. Kanala, don't give the children, because we have our feeding scheme 3 times a week in this masjid, as you know. We will feed them without shame. Give the money to us, as you are doing, mashallah, Allah bless you for the efforts that you are doing. Put it in our main account, put it in our feeding account, give it to me, give it to Sheikh Salahuddin there. Give me your card, give me your PIN number, whatever you feel. No luck here. No, but it is a serious matter. Please help us to maintain some kind of dignity around this area. And the neighborhood, by the way, has said if you put a case, because they went to the police station and they reported it. So if your sons want to go and report, they will assist. Sheikh Salahuddin can facilitate that.
Sheikh, the worst thing about it was
no, please.
There was so many of our people.
Musalis.
Yes, but nobody helped to assist.
Oh, that's a crying shame, man.
Nobody.
Please.
There's a neighbor over the road,
yeah.
Christian man with a beard, put his beard down, and he started helping.
Astaghfirullah. Look at that. The Christian man put his beard down and helped this son. But how can we not help out? That's why we're finding what is happening in the Middle East. Because of our lethargy that we are doing. Please, 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 Ya Allah. We have to help each other. But more important now, don't make it attractive for them by giving them money. Right? I need to change my card. Give me the money. Thank you again, and thank you for being there. We make dua for so many people that are ill and sick, Ya Allah. People are going for all sorts of things. May Allah grant them shifa, Ya Allah. Thank you so much.